What's up, everybody? My name is Onepeg MG. Historically, when you've come to this channel, you've seen me do an awful lot of content that predominantly has to do with educational experience. Either a tutorial, some kind of a guide, my Tarkov for Dummies series, which if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Do me a solid, all right? Stuff that I try to generate to help the community as a whole. And it's been a little while since I made a video, but goddamn if I didn't felt compelled to do this today. So this is going to be some freeform shit, and it's probably going to move a little fast. I'm going to try and keep this to a relative minimum, but this is basically going to be a rant about the fucking ranting. There has been an overwhelming amount of stuff that has come out that paints Tarkov as a game in a bad picture, in a bad light. And I just think that that's bullshit, man. Now, full disclosure, okay? I'm the emissary for the United States for BATTLESTATE and for Tarkov, which means that I am technically a member of the staff, even though it is a volunteer position. It doesn't give me any power, doesn't give me anything, above and beyond that of even just your average player, other than having a messaging application and some other things that I'm able to do to talk to or try to at least send some information up the chain to the actual development staff. Majority of the time I'm talking to the community development leaders and working in that space, okay? Every time that there is a YouTube video that seems to get any traction, be it a bug-related problem, be it an exploit that is present in the game, we see them, right? Like, I see it all. And I've looked through all of this stuff. I've looked through the bug videos, the asshole rants, the people that talk about the problems that Tarkov has, and I fucking hate it, man. I really do. Not because I feel like somebody's insulting my fucking baby, but just because I feel like the basis by which people want to complain about the state of the game is unfounded. And let me give you an example, okay? So just to start off on the laundry list, I work as a financial planner, which means that I really, really love market systems, okay? So when I found out that they were going to implement the flea market and how the flea market was going to work, I was like, let's fucking go, okay? Because I love market systems. I'm one of those people that would use market-related tools to find buy and sell opportunities on the auction house for World of Warcraft, and I spent an awful lot of time doing that. If anybody that watches this has ever done anything along those lines using Trade Skill Master, fantastic tool, right? Tracking those markets. I did a lot of trading with real money and items on the Dota 2 trade places with all of the Dota 2 items and made a couple of grand just off of that stuff. Day trading on Bitcoin. I mean, I just love market trading. So when I see videos that come out of people looking at the exploitive nature of the marketplace, for instance, and saying that the flea market is fucked because you can just go and buy items. You can go buy items from this trader, and I can take those items and I can sell them for more in the flea market. I can make money. That's fucking wrong. Dude, fucking for real? All right, look. We know, unless you're brand new, okay? Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. If you started playing this game in the last 2 weeks, we're good, okay? This doesn't necessarily concern you because you don't know any fucking different. But if you go back to the last podcast, okay? The last Talking Tarkov podcast, where Nikita sat there and the question was raised about the flea market and the mechanics of it. He said flat out, the idea for this game is to move to an economy that is player run, right? Oh my God, they moved the trader timer to 3 hours. What the heck, my God. All right, look. The trader timer got moved to 3 hours because, again, the idea is to force players toward the utilization of the flea market. Not because they're trying to fuck you. It has nothing to do with you losing money. What it has to deal with is that they are trying to track the transaction amounts. They're probably trying to force traffic onto the flea market itself to see how much server load is there, right? And they also want the player interaction to see, as these peaks and valleys of fucking prices go throughout the day, if there's going to eventually become some normalization of pricing. Okay? Because eventually what's going to happen is the traders themselves are going to have pricing that is going to be reflective of the flea market's values that are being placed on them. So perfect example is the PK06 sites keep selling out off of Skier in a matter of minutes because there's not that many of them on him at level 1, right? Not if there's 3 times the duration between refreshing the inventory. So people buy them all out and they list them for 50, 70, 125 at a time. And people are buying them for a markup at, 12, 13, 15,000 rubles instead of 8. So what happens when they throw the switch on the traders and the trader prices, maybe they take an average of the last 500 transactions of an item, and that becomes the value, the price that is set on the trader at that moment, right? If the traders' inventories are being dynamically modified by sale prices on the flea market, there's no more fucking flipping, right? No more flipping. All of a sudden, the flipping is gone. No more flipping, guys. We're flipped out. Oh, I just dropped my fucking controller on the ground. We've been flipped. Then people would have to do real work on the flea market in order to be able to flip those things, correct? But it's going there, guys. It's fucking going there. So to complain about the current iteration of the market is to complain about a surgery that's half finished. Well, yeah, his chest is cracked wide fucking open and his heart's out. Well, geez, this surgeon sucks. God, fucking fire him. They haven't put the fucking heart back in yet. They haven't sewed him up. They haven't shipped his ass off to ICU and put him in the recovery room so that the motherfucker can heal and get out the door and go back to his family. The doctor doesn't suck. The doctor's half fucking finished. And the difference here is that somebody could look into the open chest cavity of a guy laying on a table in the midst of heart surgery, maybe get a little woozy, but you'd be able to tell that the doctor isn't fucking done yet. When it comes to game development, it feels like the overwhelming opinion is that every fucking buddy that's got an opinion on the forums is a fucking game developer, and all of a sudden they can tell whether or not it's done. Well, shit, that's fucked up. I can't play this fucking game. And I've been one of the worst fucking violators of this, by the way. The day one flea market comes out. I say the flea market is fucking great, but the complaint that I had was that the mail system needed to be reworked, because anybody that deals in volume like I do, doing 200, 300, 400 transactions a day, is going to be sitting there for 20 minutes, half hour, whatever, clicking through menus to try and get the money out. That's a problem, right? But you don't hear me saying, oh, the game's fucking unplayable. I can't fucking play this game. That bug is fucking ruining my immersion. I can't play this. My immersion is ruined. Dude, fuck that, okay? Like, just grin and fucking bear it, all right? Like, I'm, having a conversation with myself. Like, yeah, it's annoying and it's really fucking boring to stream this shit. But you do it because you realize that it's not the end, right? It would be one thing if the developers were like, well, that's the way it's going to be. It's not changing. But they're not doing that, right? Like, we know that it's not going to be that at the end. Or you should fucking know if you're as involved in the game as you are to be able to make an opinion like that. Okay. The flea market is fucking amazing, by the way. You guys have done a sick fucking job with that thing, and I really look forward to the expanded functionality of the economy at large. I think it's going to be fucking sick. I really, really do. And I love the fact that Nikita is sticking to his gun, saying, like, this is going to be left up to the player's own devices. We're going to put in basic structure and have fun. I fucking love that. I think it's so fucking good. So good. So let's move on. Let's move on to gunplay mechanics, okay? People are complaining that hit reg on scavs isn't what it was in, 0.2, okay? Be that as it may. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you headshot a scav and he runs off. Sometimes you headshot a scav and he falls over. It's a fucking bug. Is it game breaking? No. Fuck no. Especially if you're a guy like me that can make money on the fucking auction house. Yeah, it's annoying that you die, but I can just go slap together another kit. I got millions of fucking rubles in my inventory. I'll just go do that. Who cares? Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Maybe if they implement the new economy, then it would hurt a little bit more. But even then, you can just go take a fucking pistol, shoot some people in the face, take their stuff, fucking leave. Right? 200 grand. Boom. You still got your scav run. That's not the end of the fucking world. Is it? Is it fucking really? People talking about scav AI. Right? Oh my God. The Terminators! They're all John Wick! I can't survive! Onepeg, help me! Come on, guys. For real? Look. The scavs in point 2 were too fucking easy. They were. You could turn a corner, run up on that motherfucker over 15 yards. He wouldn't even look at you yet. And if he did, he was going to miss you or he was going to shoot you in the knee. Shooting you in the leg isn't going to fucking kill you. Yeah, it might make you limp. Sure, you're annoyed. You didn't bring a painkiller. It's your own fucking fault. Get prepared. But now they're dangerous. Oh no, they could headshot me. Help me. Yeah, they're fucking dangerous. They can fucking shoot you in the face. So could any other player that you come across. And the point is that they're supposed to mimic realistic scenarios. Okay? How many times have you turned a corner and not seen a player and gotten blindsided by somebody with an AK and shot in the side of the head? Right? If you're extremely professional, okay? If you're a fucking ghost freak and you're racking up fucking kills, maybe a scav one-taps you in the face 1 out of 20 times. If you're a proficient player, maybe you get tapped in the face 10% of the time. It didn't happen before. But how many times can you say another player shoots you in the face 10% of the time? 1 out of 10 raids? 1 out of 10 raids? And then you think about how many scavs you killed before that scav one-shot you. If you're a proficient player, are you on scav 10, 11, 14? Right? How many scavs does it take? How many opportunities does a scav have to be able to take a shot at you before the roll goes against your favor and they hit you in the eye? It's just like questions like that, right? People complain, oh my God, the scavs, right? The AI is supposed to be mimicking players. Now, granted, maybe they're not supposed to be PMC fucking aficionado. I'm going to be, you know, Veritas or Ghost Freak, and I'm going to, or a Pestily, and I'm going to fucking wreck you because my KDA is like 15 or better, right? My KDA is 25. Maybe they're not supposed to be that good. But if you're relatively new to the game, you've been playing for 6 months, you got a little bit of proficiency, and you're running around, and you make a stupid move, and a scav takes advantage, you're booking it straight out for the factory door exit, and you're exposed by 15 feet in all directions, and a scav takes a fucking pop at you after they yell at you once, and you don't turn to look, and they shoot you in the back of the head, and you die, you're telling me that that's not justification when they have time to be able to aim? Fuck that. Fuck that. I disagree. I think that the reason why people are bitching is because it is forcing people to play more tactically, and it's forcing people to play more slowly. If they see you first and they shoot first, maybe they get lucky and they whack you. But from my experience, if I'm moving slow and I'm checking my corners the way that you're supposed to fucking do, and I move between cover positions and I hear them and I react accordingly, they haven't got a fucking prayer. Not a prayer. I'm wrecking shit. My survivability rate playing slower is 3 times higher than if I'm just like, fuck it, let's run and gun. Right? I'm going to run through factory with a Saiga 12 and a suppressor and meme it for a hot minute. Like, I'm not going to fucking live. Right? Just because I put on a fucking ton of armor doesn't mean that I should be able to just sprint through the entirety of a fucking map and not have to worry about scavs. That type of thinking is ridiculous. It is. It's absolutely ridiculous. And if a scav is playing like a player, there are going to be players, there are going to be scavs that are going to be better than others. If they headshot you because they got a clean sightline and the reactivity is halfway decent, learn how to play better, man. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I don't think the scavs are too hard. I think that players make the assumption that scavs are going to remain to be something that is not as challenging. And that's the falsehood, right? Because everybody wants a challenging experience when they play a game like this. They all want to be challenged, but they want to be able to stand in front of death's door, maybe rap on it a couple of times, and then go, fuck you, and walk away. And that's not what is able to happen all the time with this game. Not until you adapt. And the people that are bitching about the way that the AI plays, I think, do not want to adapt. either because it's not as entertaining for them or they have to move slower. And if they're moving slower and they spend a half hour on a raid and they still die, they wasted all of that time. Right? And as it boils down to something that has an incurrence of loss, like the way that this game is played, I think that's what that boils down to. I genuinely do. But I don't think that that makes the game unplayable. I think it makes the game fucking amazing. I genuinely think that. So let's move on to the armor, right? Helmets are fucking broke. Okay? 6B helmet takes, 9 rounds from a Mosin in order to be able to kill somebody. So what you're telling me is that some naked asshole with a pocket full of 7.62 rounds can't walk into the woods and find some dude rocking an Alton in a fort, $500,000 ruble kit. They can't walk in with their 28K ruble gun and one-tap them through the fucking helmet? That's what you're telling me is going to happen now? All right. So fucking what? Change your fucking game. Who cares? Why does that matter? Aim for center of mass. So all the min-max guys that were that are complaining about how they can't just Mosin somebody through the fucking helmet, no matter what helmet it is, with a single shot. Those guys that are bitching about this and how helmets are too strong, that's the problem. Well, okay, so look. Maybe they need to be fixed. I'll concede that. Maybe they're a little bit too overpowered. But remember how I said that this was going to come full circle to the originating argument? At least I think I said that at the beginning. Did I say that? Well, whatever. The main argument in this, in terms of the positivity aspect, is the game is in fucking beta. Yes? We all know that. It says it. Lower left-hand corner. Oh, sorry. This way. Camera. Lower left-hand corner. Way down over there. Yeah? It says beta in shadowed letters with the point version on every single screen, every single instance of the game. It is a shadowed set of letters in there at all fucking points in time. It always says beta. When a point update happens or when you play the game for the first time and you loaded it in, there's a splash screen that comes up that says, this is a fucking beta, motherfuckers. When you first start the game, if you're playing for that day, there's a splash screen that comes up that says, this is a fucking beta, motherfuckers. Like, what part of beta test do you not get? Is it just because you decided early on that you were going to pay retail price for a game that is yet to be completed? Well, that sounds like it's a fucking new thing. Hey, hold on. Let me ask my cat about this one. Hey, Oriel, have you ever heard about a game where people released it in advance and people paid full shot for it because they were looking at the game being in development, but they wanted to be part of the development team? You ever hear anything like that? What's that? Early access? The fuck is that? She says early access? That's been done before, right? Kickstarter, Steam, pre-orders from Bethesda, right? So what you're telling me is that you paid full shot for a game that isn't complete yet. Well, let me be the first to tell you, that is not a new experience for, I would guess, anyone here that would be watching this. Last I checked, games that are in development, that are sold as an early access opportunity, and people deciding to buy them, that's happened before. Yes? And a game like Tarkov that's been in development for a really long time, people are like, oh, it's been in development since 2012. Where's my game? Where's my game? So the game, regardless of how long it's been in development, is not the longest game in history to have been in development, early access. I'm looking at you, Daisy. Correct? It's not the first one. It's not going to be the last one. And the game is fucking playable in its current state. It has bugs. Is it the buggiest fucking shooter that's ever been around? No. It's not the buggiest. Not by a fucking long shot. Go play World War III. Hop into a tank or in the passenger seat of a tank and hop out and try and shoot someone. You have one bullet. You have one bullet and then you get to die. You don't get to reload. You can't switch weapons. There's bugs all over the fucking place. It's not the buggiest fucking shooter that's out there. I can count on one hand the number of bugs that exist inside of the game instance. And for people to complain, oh, the desync is fucking game-breaking, invisible players are fucking game-breaking, the AI is game-breaking, the weapon mechanics, the bullets themselves not registering hits is fucking game-breaking, and the armor, the helmets, are fucking game-breaking. No, they're not. They're fucking not. They're just not. I'm sorry. If you're holding a Makarov and you see a guy walk up with a 500,000 ruble kit on, and you don't think to yourself, I should not fucking engage this guy, there's something wrong with you. Unless you notice he's not wearing a face shield and you want to take the chance. If you die, you were fucking supposed to. You had a small window of opportunity and you missed. Good for you. If you shoot him and you kill him, reap the reward of your effort. They're better. You got it. Good for you. Okay? If you're that asshole crouching in a corner of a map somewhere with a Mosin and a scope, and you hit somebody in the side of the head and they don't die, tough shit. Next time, don't aim at the helmet. Don't hit him in the helmet. Hit him here. Right? It doesn't cover the nape of the neck. It doesn't cover the face. Just shoot him in the fucking face. Shoot him in a soft spot. I got nothing for you there. It's the way that the game is played right now. It changed the meta. And they're probably doing it for a reason. Or maybe it was a mistake. If it was a mistake, who gives a shit? If it was a mistake, it'll be changed. If it was intended, it will be changed eventually because they're using it for testing purposes. Just because they don't fucking tell you the reason behind every little change, or fucking any change, doesn't mean that the game is unplayable. It just means it's different. That's it. That's all it means. It's just fucking different. And for you guys to go like, well, I don't like it how it is. It shouldn't be like this. Right, Domino? Shouldn't be like this. Domino thinks you're a bitch. And so do I. And bitches do nothing but complain. How about you look at the rest of the marketplace as it compares to Tarkov? How about you do that? What are we going to compare it to? DayZ, still in development, still rife with bugs, still got problems, still not as playable or as fun as Tarkov, in my opinion. You're going to compare it to Battlefield games? Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 2, Battlefield 1942. Well, that game was fucking amazing. That game gets to get put on a mantle. Battlefield Bad Company 2, another amazing game. That one gets to get put up on a mantle. But if you look at the Battlefield series of games, any of the BR games, PUBG, Fortnite, you fucking name it, okay? Fortnite was a fucking failure until they decided to implement the BR that PUBG started throwing out there when they modified Arma. That saved Fortnite. Fortnite still got problems. They still got ping issues. They still got people warping all over the fucking place. They still got hit reg issues. PUBG, Jesus Christ. PUBG's got problems all over the fucking place. With recoil issues, hit registration problems, tick rates on their servers. You got to compare it to the new Call of Duty Blackout. Blackout's got tick rate server issues up the fucking ass. I mean, look at the stuff that Battle Nonsense did with his tick rate analysis, and you'll see exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. The shit doesn't work right. Right? And then you got body armor that's damn near fucking impenetrable until you break it, and you got that meme video from the doc going ding 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 ding, right? I mean, come on, guys. And the only weapon modification type of game that I've seen that's come out relatively recently is World War III, but that shit's all cosmetic. And yeah, you can do it in Call of Duty to an extent, but that doesn't mean that the weapons and the handling are realistic. You have a game that is licensed by fucking Glock. Okay? Like, Glock gave BattleState Games a license to be able to use their brand when they created their guns, when they made replicas. And you're telling me that they haven't got any fucking clout? They're bad developers? You think Glock is going to slap their fucking logo or give their brand awareness off or allow for their brand awareness to be used, purchased, or otherwise by a video game developer if that video game isn't doing the pistol justice? Are you kidding? You got to be fucking mental, right? Remington is going to throw their fucking name on something if they don't think that it's doing the gun justice. That's insane. And you have a game that has more modifiable ability than any other shooter anywhere. You have a game that has more realistic mechanics in terms of gunplay, bullet drop, ballistics, you name it, than any other game anywhere, right? You have this package that has been brought to us with extreme ambition, because nothing like it exists in the marketplace anywhere at all, at any level, right? You have things that have aspects of the game, sure, but are they anywhere close to what Tarkov offers? Fuck no, not at all. It just doesn't, right? There's a reason why you have guys that are dedicated as much as they are to playing this game, and it's because nothing like it exists. It just does not fucking exist. All right, so look, in closing, I realize that certain bugs with this game can be things that are frustrating, right? I realize that people were like, oh, well, just fix bugs and don't worry about on updating or expanding the game whatsoever. Just fix the bugs. Well, sometimes when you expand the game, guys, you create bugs. That's what this process is about. And unless you have actually worked in fucking game development, to say that you have some level of understanding over the development process and the amount of work that it takes to fix certain aspects of the game that are broken is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You have no firm understanding of it. To make that comparison is doing a disservice to the video game industry, and it definitely does a disservice to the developers of this game. Tarkov is fucking amazing, guys. It's fucking amazing. It is. It beats out every other fucking shooter that has come before it by a wide margin. And it is fucking sad that more people do not know about it. And what makes it more sad is that there's this lack of understanding in the community that goes into all of this nuanceical detail about how the game is so fucked, to where they start recommending to other people that they shouldn't play it. And I think that that is sad. I think that it's unfounded. I think that more people should be playing this fucking game, because the complaints about the lack of the player base starts coming into play when you start looking at how many people are in the lobby and how long you have to wait to start maps and all this other shit. If there were more people, you wouldn't be waiting. In order to get more people, they need to want to play it. In order to get them to want to play it, you have to have some level of understanding about the fact that it's a fucking beta. It's a beta. And you don't have to push so fucking hard by making YouTube videos about exploits. Cotton, my boy. And, you know, like the money duping issue and all that stuff. Because it pulls developers off of the stuff that they had been doing to try and make release dates that people bitch about they keep missing, in order to be able to fix bugs that, once the general population of the game know about it, cause major issues. Because then everyone starts fucking doing that shit. Unless they have sound moral fiber or whatever. But even then, people start exploiting the game because now it becomes a widespread knowledge thing. Instead of just making your fucking bug submission and sending it off to those guys to let them do their job. It gets added to the timeline. Just because they don't throw it up on a fucking forum post somewhere to say, hey, we know about that money duping exploit that YouTube video was made about, so that you guys can go look it up. Like, they're not doing that shit for very obvious fucking reasons. Like, yeah, we're working on that invisible wall exploit where you can walk on the walls and get on the roof of Interchange. We're working on that one. They're not going to put that shit in a fucking forum. Why would you do that? Because then you would have a whole slew of people looking for YouTube guides and videos and testing shit to try and make it fucking happen. Right? It works against the principle of the fucking reason why we're playing this shit. You set timelines back when you advertise that crap. And fuck, I'm coming up on a half an hour. All right, so look. Be a naysayer of the game if you fucking want to. It's a free fucking country. You know, freedom of speech being what it is, YouTube being what it fucking is, right? And I realize I'm this fucking big. Like, I'm nowhere near the fucking top of the hierarchy of royalty that exists on fucking Twitch or even fucking YouTube or any of those other places. But I think you do yourself and you do the game and its development a fucking staunch disservice by trying to say that these relatively minor things in scope are things that are game breaking, because they're fucking not. And you have, comparatively speaking, a skeleton crew that is making a game that rivals the quality of game that you will see in any fucking AAA studio out there. I seriously believe that. With artwork that is fucking amazing and gun replication that is unfucking heard of. Like the MP7, my fucking God, guys. Like that gun is a fucking amazing, and it's just like it should be. It is so fucking good. So well done, man. So fucking good. And like, I'm not trying to say like tone police yourself or like look at the fucking positive or whatever, but there should be a fucking voice given to the fact that these guys have pulled off some serious shit with the timeline that they have had and the relatively small development group that they have had. And to say that the game is unplayable, I think you're full of shit. All right. I'm out. I'm fucking out. I'm going to go pet my cat. I'm going to go fucking give my dog Arnie a hug. I'm going to have a Coke and a smile. I'm going to start looking at what I'm going to make for Thanksgiving. And maybe I'll do a fucking cooking stream on Thanksgiving. I'll make my wife hold the camera. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's a fucking whatever. All right. So look, I'm going to take my fresh as fuck jacket. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. If you have negative comments, fucking leave them. I don't give a shit. I'm probably going to get shit on for this, and I don't fucking care at all. I'm sticking to my guns on this one. I think Tarkov is fucking amazing, and if you think Tarkov is less than amazing, you need to seriously evaluate what you have in comparison, and then go fuck yourself.